There are many origins to the Black Madonna. That of the Egyptian goddess Isis, the Anatolian Cybele, and Diana. However, the list is endless of black goddesses, and they all go back to an important concept, the Black Earth. In ancient Egypt, the ancient name was Kemet, meaning the Black Land, referring to the rich land that was fertile in its soil. This concept extended to goddesses and gods of the earth being depicted as black. Not only is this concept prehistoric, it is African, and many believe it is an ancient subconscious memory to our African origins of humankind. From these ancient concepts, Italy received the worship of Isis, and her cult was so strong it spread to the furthest reaches of the Roman Empire. Her ancient description as mother holding her infant son Horus is almost identical to Mary holding the infant Jesus. The Anatolian goddess Cybele, along with the Parthian Aphrodite of Cyprus, were once worshipped as black meteorite stones. This tradition was so ancient that Tacitus, when referring to the Parthian Aphrodite of Cyprus, said, "The representation of the goddess is not in human form, but it is a circular mass that is broader at the base and rises like a turning post to a small circumference at the top." The reason for this is obscure. In Italy, there is a shrine of the Madonna of the Seven Veils. This is one of the most esoteric of the Madonnas I have ever seen. She is not in human form, but depicted as a black mirror, and what appears to be a silver door behind it, representing her seven veils. Note the seven. The number seven also corresponds to the seven planets, the days of the week, the seven swords of Our Lady of Sorrows, and the seven gates of the goddess Astarte in the underworld in her pursuit to rescue her dead lover Adonis. Also, a noteworthy mention here is the use of the black mirror. The black mirror is a frequent item used in divination in the Goetia, in many Goetic magical workings. Today, at the Cathedral of Mamma Schiavona, or the Madonna of Montevergine, meaning the Virgin Mountain, she is considered the mother of the LGBTQ community. This mountain receives pilgrimage each year on the Christian Candelora Festival. Her sacred children are called Femminili, and are directly linked to the tradition of the ancient priesthood of the Galli, or the castrated priests of Cybele. Today, there are no bloody castrations, but there is a ritual marriage of the Femminili and a procession in her honor as initiation. The ancient Tamariata music and dance are also performed in her honor, but also for other Black Madonnas as well. This music is played on tambourine, drums, the same drums depicted on statues of Cybele in ancient times. The dance is erotic in nature, as I have seen and in my personal experience dancing it. And during my field research, until recently, I was informed that this dance has been used as a form of sacred sexual rite within the building of the church after the doors have been closed around midnight. It is believed there are 7 Tamariata variations for the 7 Madonna sisters of Italy. Mamma Schiavona, being what is called the most beautiful, but the other 6 called her at once the most ugly. The folklore is that Mama Schiavona ran to the mountaintop and then all recognized her for her beauty. The Anatolian Diana Artemis was also depicted as a black goddess, and her worship was popular in Italy in ancient times, and her worship as Diana Triformis was very popular at Lake Nemi. Here her worship welcomed the outcasts of society, and her priests were ritually married to an oak tree as their wife. They protected the tree as their goddess wife to the death. In southern Italy, there is a church of La Madonna dell'Incoronata. She is a Black Madonna dressed in white, and here we see her connection to the oak and deer, just as the goddess Diana. She is said in folklore to have appeared in an inferno upon an oak tree and declared, "I am the Mother of God." In Tindori, Sicily, there was another Black Madonna. She is again on top of a mountain overlooking the sea. In the back of her church, there is a mosaic depicted of the Temple of Demeter. This is another sacred site of the ancient Black goddess that was transformed into a Christian church for the Black Madonna. She also has an inscription below her that reads, "Nigra sed sum formosa," meaning in Latin, "I am black and beautiful." This is a direct reference from the Song of Songs in the Bible in reference to Queen Makeda of Sheba. The Black Madonna is important for many reasons. She is dark, fierce, and represents the dark feminine. She is strong and a warrior and not afraid of her sexuality. The White Madonna is timid, shy, very virginal and innocent. In southern Italy, this is a well-understood concept. She is an archetype of the feminine shadow of all of us and bridges the gap between our internal heaven and hell. It's hermetic. In the Middle Ages, she was referred to as Queen of Demons and Empress of Hell, a nod to the concept of the Black Madonna herself. In the words of Andrew Harvey, the Black Madonna is the transcendent Kali Mother, the black womb of light out of which all the worlds are always arising, into which they fall. The presence behind all things, the darkness of love, and the loving unknowing into which the child of the mother goes when his or her illumination is perfect. She represents herself as coming from a divine feminine force, the blackness of space, and the concept that God is female and black. She transcends the duality of good and evil, as she is the purest representative of nature. She is fierce, beautiful, loving, and deadly. If you find this topic interesting, I really recommend some pertinent authors that I know personally and have read their books. Alessandra Belloni, Matthew Fox, and Lucia Birnbaum, to name a few. This has been the Black Madonna with me, your host, Salvatore. Please like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you next week for another episode on the South and Magic.